Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Friday, June 14th, and we are one day away from Saturday, which is always a good day. Today, we're going to be breaking down 6 more plays. I have 3 graphic plays and my 3 best bets of the day, including 2 player props and a game pick. We're going to be talking about the Royals and the Dodgers as the best play of the day. The Royals, they've had some props in the first inning. I'm going to break that down a little bit. I don't know if it's going to continue or not, but if you guys enjoy the content of this video, please be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel below. I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given me on this channel. All right, guys. Let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's take a look at this recap graphic from Thursday night. These are the plays from Thursday night. I do want to say a little bit on Wednesday. 5-1 day, pretty good. The only loss of the Braves and the Orioles. Can't believe that over didn't hit with the 2 rookies on the mound, but neither of those teams did get really anything going. They left a lot of people on base, but we will take the 5-1 day on Wednesday. Today's plays, I am recording early. None of these games has started. We have the White Sox and the Mariners. Under 3.5 first 5 runs. That over-under came out at 6.5. First 5 was 3.5 between Luis Castillo and Garrett Crochet. Then we have Christian Walker over 1.5 bases going up against Griffin Cannon, and Luis Severino under 2.5 earned runs going up against Miami Marlins later tonight. Then we have the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox under 8.5 runs. Trustin Aaron-Nola in that game. Kyle Schwarber under 1.5 bases going up against the Red Sox, who he just hit 2 home runs the other night against the righty. I don't think it's going to happen again. And then Julio Rodriguez over 1.5 bases going up against the White Sox. A healthy mix of unders and overs, which is something rare for me. So hopefully it does work out for me there. This is the updated leaderboard. We did have a 2-0 day on the props, a 0-1 day on the game picks. So the props get a little bit of a boost. The game picks take a loss, but we did have a 2-1 day on the best bet. So hopefully we can go 3-0 today. We are going to be looking at the New York Mets and the San Diego Padres. That's the first play of the day. This is not going to be the best play of the day, but I do think it's a great play because we have Matt Waldron on the mound going for the Padres going up against Sean Manaea, who has been absolutely horrible over the last couple games. I'm going to take the Padres in this one. First 5 minus a half as the play. If you're not familiar with Matt Waldron, he's the guy who has the nasty knuckleball for the Padres. Over the last several games, he's been dominant, and it's just kind of an odd thing. It's all of a sudden for him. He's been pretty bad early in the season. He had a 5.49 ERA in the middle of May, but since then he's on 5 consecutive starts, going 5+ innings in all those games, and he's only given up a total of 5 runs, striking out 7+ in 3 of the last 5. I'm not sure if it's the knuckleball making a comeback or him just gaining a little bit of confidence, but he has worked his ERA down nearly 2 full points. It's now sitting at 3.76. Over the last 2 games alone, he's gone a total of 12 in the 3rd inning, only giving up 5 total hits and 2 runs to the Diamondbacks and the Angels. The Mets this season, they have struggled to put up any kind of runs, and Matt Waldron in the first 5 innings has been almost unstoppable over the last 5 games. I like him to shut down the Mets in this game offensively, and even if he doesn't, the Padres should be able to score some runs in this one. They're going to have a matchup going up against Sean Manaea, who has been the worst pitcher in baseball over the last 2 games against the D-backs and the Phillies in the last 2 appearances. 13 hits, 12 runs, 3 home runs, only going 9 in the 3rd inning in those 2 games. Those 2 games alone has brought his ERA up to 4.30 with a 1.35 whip. And I feel like every single time I talk about Sean, I have to mention it feels like he's in a jam every single inning. His confidence is rattled, and the Padres have one of the best batting averages of any team in the MLB this season. They're going to find a way to get some people on base. They're going to find a way to win this game in the first 5. They're going to put up a couple runs. So I'm going to take the Padres here on the first 5 minus a half as the play. For the player props on the screen, I'm not going to play either of them. Harrison Bader, he's been really good for the Mets over the last couple games. He even got the chance to hit in the 2-hole the other night. He did hit a home run. Usually, though, his production, it comes from the bottom of the batting order, but they did give him a chance. He made the most of it at the top of the order. So I do think if you want him in this game, you should go for it. Ha-Sung Kim, another one, he's been a little bit tougher to pass up here because of how bad Sean Manaea has been. But again, I've talked about it before. I don't want to just give out plays to give out plays. Trying to keep the record as clean as possible. So if you're looking at player props of this game, I think I'd start with Kim, then go to Harrison Bader and take it from there. But I am going to have a double player prop on the next graphic, and we're just going to get right into it here. This is going to be the best play of the day. It's going to be between the Kansas City Royals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. One of the best teams in baseball and one of the best pitching rotations in baseball so far has been the Kansas City Royals. And the New York Yankees, they put up double-digit runs on them in back-to-back games, having 10 total runs in the first inning alone in those 2 games. I'm not sure what's going on with the Royals right now in the rotation, but Cole Reagan is going to be on the mound in this game, and he's been excellent this season. He's only had a couple bad games on the season. He's given up 14 of his 27 runs in 2 games alone. I think he's going to be able to stop the bleeding in this one, though, so I'm going to take the under 8.5 run score between these 2 teams. Gavin Stone's going to be on the other side. I've had some problems with him in the past, but he has proven to be a pretty reliable arm for the Dodgers. I'm going to start here, though, with Cole because he's coming into this game giving up 1 run or less in 4 of his last 5 starts. He's brought his ERA down to 3.08. He's also been able to go 6+ innings in 4 of the last 5 games, and that's going to be extremely important for the success of this game for the Royals because the bullpen's getting eat up lately. In the last 2 games for him against the Mariners and the Padres, he's only given up a combined 8 total hits. And I'm looking for the same outcome in this game going up against the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers, record-wise, might be the second best team in baseball right now. And obviously, they have a ton of great bats. But this team, they struggle to score at times. Looking at the last 6 games for them, they've scored double-digit runs in 3 games, but they've also scored 2 runs or less in 3 games. I think it just matters the pitching matchup, and I think Cole Rogan has the advantage in this one to shut them down. The Royals are a lot like the Dodgers. They can also score double-digit runs as well, but they can also struggle to score. We saw that against the Yankees in the first 2 games of the series so far. They only scored a combined 3 runs in the first 2 games, and they put up 5 runs in the next game. A lot of it does have to do with the pitching matchup, and Gavin Stone, over the last 10 games, has only given up more than 2 runs in one of those games. He's been very reliable, coming in with a 2.93 ERA, having 7 wins in the last 12 games he's been in. He does give up a few too many hits at times, but he does keep the runs to a minimum, which I love. He's coming off a game against the Yankees. He only gave up 2 runs in that game, and anytime you go up against the Yankees, go 5+ innings, give up less than 2 runs, that's considered a quality start in my opinion. Before the Yankees game, he went back-to-back games, giving up no earned runs, only allowing 7 total hits. I think we're in store for a good pitching matchup, so I'm going to take the under here, 8.5 run score between these 2 teams. For the player props on the screen, we have Vinny Pasquantino for the Kansas City Royals and Ohtani for the Dodgers. I'm going to play both of these guys. One to go over bases, one to go under bases, because I do think they both are worth looking at here. We're going to start with Vinny, and he's been pretty good for the Royals this season, coming in with a 240 batting average. Not the best in the world, but he's been pretty consistent giving out extra base hits. I'm not looking for a whole lot out of him in this game. I'm just looking for a double, and he's getting a matchup going up against a right-handed pitcher in Gavin Stone, and he has 23 of his 27 extra base hits on the right side this season. Again, doesn't have to be anything special. I'm just looking for one double down the line in this game for him to go over 1.5 bases. With the numbers he's had in this season against right-handed pitching and the way he's been hitting the ball lately, I like him to get a double against Gavin Stone. So I'm going to take him over 1.5 bases as the play for Ohtani. I know it's crazy. I'm taking under 1.5 bases on him because he's such a good hitter. I have to take the under, though, 1.5 bases. The majority of his at-bats in this game will probably be against the lefty and Cole Reagan. Against left-handed pitching this season, he does have a batting average of 292, but he only has 7 extra base hits on that side this year. He has 28 total hits, 7 extra base hits. That's a 25% extra base hit rate. If you take a look at the right side, he has 54 total hits on the right side, 30 extra base hits. That's an extra base hit rate of 55.6%. So that is something I looked at. I know it's a little crazy to take his under because obviously he's a great hitter, but he doesn't hit great against left-handed pitching, especially extra base hits. Even if he does get a hit in this game, I'm thinking it's going to be a single. So hopefully he doesn't get more than 1 hit or more than 1 single. But I think the numbers back up the under 1.5 bases. So that's what I'm going to take. I think we have an advantage in that one, under 1.5 bases for Ohtani in that game. So 3 total plays there, 2 graphic, and a best bet. Let's go to the props for today. Back to these cards. We're going to start with the batting prop as always, and it's going to be Carlos Correa over 1.5 bases going up against the Oakland Athletics. I don't know if anybody heard the news or not, but Carlos Correa had his first 5-hit game against the Rockies in his career, having 5 singles on Wednesday night. I think he's locked in at the plate, and I really should have saw this coming because he's been on fire even before that 5-hit game. He's collected 4 multi-hit games over the last 6, and counting that 5-hit game, it's been 5 over the last 7 games for him. He has a total of 15 hits over the last 7 games. That's a very impressive number, and it's raised his batting average from 247 just 8 days ago to now 290 on the season. He's getting a great matchup again going up against Mitch Spence of the Oakland Athletics. He's given up 46 hits in 51 innings this year. He is coming in with a 3.68 ERA, and over the last 2 games against the Mariners and the Blue Jays, 2 of the worst hitting teams in baseball, he's given up 14 total hits. The Twins of the team, they're locked into the plate, and Carlos Correa has been the best hitter on this team over the last 6 or 7 days. So I'm going to take him to continue his hit streak over 1.5 bases as the batting prop there. For the pitching prop, it's going to be his guy I talk about a lot, Chris Sale, under 2.5 earned runs going up against the Braves. Again, I feel like I talk about Chris Sale a lot, especially over the last couple of months because he's been one of the best pitchers over the last couple of months. He had 1 really bad game against the Athletics a couple starts ago. He gave up 8 runs in that game. But other than that one start, he has gone 7 of his last 8 games, giving up 2 runs or less. He won a stretch from the end of April to the end of May, giving up a total of 3 runs in 6 games, and he faced off against some pretty good opponents in that stretch. He did have a bounce-back performance after the Athletics game going up against my Nationals where he went 7 innings. He gave up 2 runs. He struck out 10. He was fanning everybody. That brought his ERA back to 3.01, and Chris Sale has been extremely good at keeping the bases clean. He's coming in with a 0.94 whip as well. I love the matchup here for going up against the Tampa Bay Rays because the Rays this season, they haven't been a very good scoring team or a very good hitting team this year. They are bottom 10 in both batting average per game and run scored per game, and they also strike out over 9 times per game. That's bottom 5 in the MLB. If you're paying attention as well to this Chris Sale run, he struck out 8+ batters in 6 of the last 7 games. I think he's in store for a great performance once again. I like his under 2.5 runs as the play here. All right, guys, let's go over to the recap graphic. Starting pitchers left. Graphic plays today. Padres, -0.5 in the first 5 going against Sean Manaea. Like Matt Walter to shut down the Mets. Then we have Vinny Pasquantino over 1.5 bases going up against the Dodgers and Gavin Stone. And a crazy one, Ohtani, under 1.5 bases going up against the Royals. The numbers, they kind of back up. He doesn't have a lot of extra base hits against lefties, so I like Ohtani under in that one. Then the best plays of the day, the Royals and the Dodgers, under 8.5 runs scored. All these lines are subject to change because I'm recording fairly early, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be under 8.5 runs scored. Then we have the Twins and the Athletics. We have Carlos Correa over 1.5 bases in that game, coming off a 5-8 game. Not sure how he's going to perform on Thursday night, but he is locked in at the plate right now. And then we have Chris Sale, under 2.5 earned runs going up against the Tampa Bay Rays, who have struggled at batting. They've struggled at getting people across the plate, and they've struggled at striking out. So that's all 3 good things in favor of Chris Sale, who's also been wheeling and dealing over the last month and a half of baseball. But guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Friday, June 14th slate of games. If you guys enjoy the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.